to the channel and welcome to the first episode of the Yamaha XJ900 build. This is my new bike. I say new, it's from 1988, so it's not new at all, it's older than me. So this is my new project. It currently has no tank, no seat, no brakes, no battery. So it's in a bit of a sorry state, we'll see. But the plan is, get it running again, turn it into something cool. I've got a sort of idea of how I want that to look at the moment. I imagine as time goes on that things will kind of change. So that's the bike. I am not a mechanic. I've never even changed the oil on something before. This is all very new to me. So I've got no idea what I'm doing. However, I bought one of these and we're just gonna give it a go. So this could go horribly wrong. Hopefully it won't, but it might. It probably will at various points. But I just thought I'd bring you along for the journey and see where we end up. So yeah, let's head to the workbench and I'll kind of show you the idea of what I'm gonna do with this bike. But yeah. Okay, so here is my incredibly accurate drawing of the bike so far. Now, I'm not good at drawing, so this might be a terrible idea. But hey, probably not as terrible as buying a bike and deciding that you're gonna fix it without any knowledge of how to do it. So, I've spent years looking at like custom builds on bikes and sort of picked some things up, and a lot of it's to do with lines and, you know, all of that sort of jazz. So hopefully this isn't gonna look terrible for my first attempt. It might though. There's a lot of different areas on a bike that I think you need to pay attention to for it to look good. To kind of make everything look like it's in proportion, I suppose. I already know that I'm not gonna do the cafe racer thing and have this hollow section here, okay? So that's gonna stay covered. I'm gonna keep the airbox in there because I wanna be able to ride this bike, you know, everywhere in a lot of different conditions. So I don't really wanna have to worry about pod filters and then the sort of the issues that brings up with jetting and all of those sorts of things. So keep the airbox, but I kind of wanna do something cool with it. What that exactly is at the minute, I don't really know, but hey. So one thing that I have seen and I'm pretty set on is that I want to do a Honda CB750 tank on it. I want this to feel like quite a big bike. And I think that sort of like big, sort of square-ish tank will look quite good. So let's maybe just try and draw that. So I want to try and keep this line going. So, right, so here's the line of the tank, I suppose, which, you know, I don't know how much of that will actually be covering the engine or not at all. This isn't done in proportion, really. But I kind of know that the CB750 tank is sort of going to be, hopefully, that's the kind of the plan as it stands at the moment. That's, excuse you, that's kind of what I want. So if we stick to the top up here for now, what I want to do is, I know on a cafe racer the line shouldn't come past the back here. I'm not doing a cafe racer, but I don't want the seat to be super out the back here. So I know that I kind of want the seat to end there. So I also kind of want a nice line coming down from the tank into the seat. And I think I quite fancy having a little kick up thing at the back here with the subframe. So if we go subframe, maybe here. Kick up maybe there. My idea for the seat is that I kind of want it to come down in a nice sort of fashion here, and then maybe like that. Then with this little kick up, I've seen these sort of nice little bits of like exposed subframe with a rear fender over the back, which I really like the look of. So some sort of rear fender there, and then a little light, I think there. It kind of is going to be a bit of a retro sort of thing, this, so some sort of like retro headlight, like that. Exhaust as well. It's got the stock exhaust on at the moment, and I don't really want those end cans on there. Not that I think they look bad, but I just think that they look better doing something like this. The thing that I really like the look of is sort of reverse megaphone for this sort of thing. I've seen a lot of these sort of like Brat style builds that have got that sort of reverse megaphone thing on there. So I kind of want this nice line down the bottom of here. So we'll go okay, and the reverse megaphone thing. Good drawing. Right. I suppose the indicators probably the next thing to tackle. I have a feeling what I'm probably going to end up doing is either attaching them to somewhere along here, maybe where the shocks mount to the frame, maybe further back in this little section. Again, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, keeping the stock rims, definitely for now at least. Maybe I'll go for spoke rims at some point, but I don't really know. That's a problem for another time, I think. Back to the indicators, let's focus on that. So I've seen a lot of indicators that have this sort of style to them as well, which I think would be quite cool to keep that theme going through it, especially if there's a similar sort of thing with the tail light. So I think indicators would be this sort of, again, this bullet effect maybe. Yeah, something like that, I don't know. Handlebars that are currently on the bike are these sort of weird clip-on things, but they're sort of rises at the same time. I'll show you in this little clip. And they're mounted in a very peculiar way, which I suppose isn't peculiar at all. It probably makes a lot of sense, but they've got these sort of teeth on them. So swapping them out, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to swap them out yet, but you know, hopefully that'll become more apparent when I get them off. I do, however, already have a handlebar that I quite like. So this is the handlebar that's going on the bike, right? Now, I don't know how much of this you'll see. So let me just get a quick measurement. So end to end, the current handlebars are about 27 inches. Something like that. So I've got a good little bit of extra reach on those, which I think will really improve the sort of the feel of the bike and it feeling quite big and chunky, especially with that big tank on there. Handlebars as well, I want to go for a very minimal look to them. So current plan is to swap out all of the electrics for all LEDs anyway, and probably put in an M unit into the bike to simplify the wiring and also hopefully make it easier to do that sort of LED upgrade. Then means that all of like this end I don't have to try and hide wires into the headlight, and I can have a nice sort of clean look to the bike. So handlebar wise, so that's one side of it. What I have seen, which I really like the look of, is these sort of barrel grips. That sort of vibe, which I think will look quite cool. And then probably some little switch indicator things like that. And then the ones that I've seen that I really like, sorry, these will be probably built well barrel grips. I think they look the nicest. Again, not the cheapest, but you know, the bike itself was kind of cheap, so hopefully it will even itself out. Yeah, what I've seen, which I do like, is the built well rear view mirrors, like the ones that clamp onto the bar. They are crazy expensive for what they are, so maybe I'll just put a cheaper set on there. But I actually quite like that sort of like, that like Mickey Mouse sort of, it's a great drawing of a mirror there. But yeah, I quite like that Mickey Mouse sort of retro look, and I think it'll look quite cool on this bike. Rear shocks are currently stock rear shocks. They're fine, but I think the Hagon ones are going to look better. Is there anything else that I've got planned at the moment? Oh, yeah, kind of. I would like to do some touring on this as well, like just go on like a bit of an adventure. So I think it would be cool to put some like soft pannier mounts on there as well, just so that I could put like some saddlebags on or something like that, something that's in keeping with the bike. I don't want to put like something that looks like crazy modern and like that looks like a proper mount. I kind of, you know, like the sort of Triumph Bonneville sort of, where it's just a nice sort of like bit of tubing, you know, that's that sort of like that sort of vibe. That'll like kind of go here and maybe mount to, I don't know, like where the rear foot pegs are or something like that, I don't know. Colours wise, let's think colours. So at the moment this has got that sort of, you can kind of see it here, this sort of brushed metal. I think I'm going to try and polish that so that it goes like a nice silver, like almost chrome. Hardware wise, and I think sort of seat and stuff as well, I think I'm just going to keep black. So black handlebars, sorry, black grips, silver bar, maybe the switches will be black with silver buttons, I don't know yet. Probably chrome headlight and like, oh, fenders actually. I don't know, yeah. I think it would be quite cool to have a little mudguard there, and I think those would look good both being silver as well, like sort of steel sort of vibe. Colour of the tank, I'm undecided. At the moment I'm really fancying yellow, but we'll see if that sticks. I want this to be a fairly simple bike, and I'm not really that bothered about putting too much sort of crazy electronics into it. So I just want a really simple one dial speedo that hopefully has both rev and like tacho and speedo all in one. I've seen some Daytona ones that I really like, so maybe one of those. I don't care about fuel gauges because I don't know, I just don't feel like you really need them. And I feel like it's going to be a pain trying to put that into a tank and then sort of work out the electronics of that as well. So yeah, and I want that just to sit in front there and just it be really, really clean. And that's sort of the plan for now. If you're interested to see where this goes, subscribe to the channel, kind of follow me on social media and stuff. Yeah, my plan is to post weekly updates on this and kind of split it into a series and do a section of the bike at a time. I feel like that makes the most sense. But yeah, thanks for watching.